From the Oklahoma newsroom, it's time for the Energy FC Weekly Update. I'm Jenny Carlson here with the coach, Steve Cook, fresh off the plane, fresh off the trip to San Antonio. Kind of a mixed result. I mean, you guys get the tie with San Antonio on Wednesday night, 4th of July game, but kind of some mixed feelings here, right, Coach?
Yeah, you know, anytime you go on the road, especially to a place like San Antonio, which traditionally are difficult to beat there, you'd before the game probably settle for a tie and say a job well done. And so we're very pleased with the performance of the players and the way they stuck to the task. But the way the game played out, and Jose Baril scored a fantastic goal, we felt we for sure should have had a penalty in the last 10 minutes, which would have won the game. So we feel a little bit aggrieved that the decision go our way, but you know, credit to the guys to go there and get a tie is a great result. What
about Jose's goal? I mean, both goals in that game were pretty outstanding, but what about his in particular?
I think it was an outstanding play in general, and you know, what really pleased me the most about the goal, and everyone's going to focus on the finish, but Jose played a phenomenal ball out wide, and Alex Dixon took a touch and was very, very quick then to get the cross in. And I think once Jose played that ball wide, he really accelerated into the penalty area and got into the dangerous areas. And I think when players do that, they're difficult to stop. And I think both Jose and Alex on that particular goal did really well, but the finish is going to get all the plaudits as it should.
You guys had a bit of a layoff before this game on Wednesday night. Now looking back on it, how did that all play out for you guys? Do you feel like they benefited from the downtime that you guys had?
Yeah, well, as always, you know, they had a couple of days off to regenerate and recharge, but then when we came back, they paid the price of that a little bit in some hard work that week, and the guys really put the work in the training ground and then really got focused in on the game. But they were fresh of mind and bodies were fresh, and obviously this week we've got 3 games in 7 days, so we've got to be ready for the challenge ahead. But certainly last night in San Antonio, we can be proud of the players.
Well, and you mentioned the games coming up, and the next one's on Saturday, a home game, 7:30 start against Colorado Springs. Will be the last time that you see these guys in the regular season. That tie at San Antonio snapped a 3-game winning streak. What's it going to take against Colorado Springs to get back on the winning side? Yeah,
we know Colorado pretty well, having played them last month, and I think with Colorado, they're very consistent. They've got a very good all-round team. They play the ball really well. They've got a good passing style to what they do, but they're also very tenacious defensively. So I think the big thing for me is just take this one game on its own and really get refocused quickly, get recharged quickly. But I think more than anything for the players, it is trying to keep this momentum going. And I think they've really done a good job of outrunning, out-competing, outworking other teams. And I think if we do that at home, we should put ourselves in a good position. But make no mistake, Colorado Springs are in a playoff spot right now, and that's where we want to be.
You know, you talk about momentum, obviously, that mentality, but physically, coming off the road, a quick turnaround, do you have to do anything different in just recovery, training, those sorts of things to make sure the guys physically are ready to go Saturday?
We adjust a little bit physically, and they'll be taking some time to get massage and some recovery treatments and making sure that their minds are in tune, ready to go. But the beauty of our group is that we have a good squad now, and we've added some new players in who've made a big difference. But all that means is we're very, very deep, and we believe we can put any player into the starting lineup, and they're going to equip themselves really, really well. So for me, it's very positive that we've got that great group of guys who are working hard for each other right now. So we'll probably make 1 or 2 changes, but other than that, we'll go again, and we'll give it the best we possibly can.
Been a minute since you guys have been at home, and if people are looking for a reason to come out, Kids Eat Free returns on Saturday night. You can bring the kids out, all kids 12 and under, hot dog, bag of chips, great deal for them. And it has been a minute since you guys have been at home. You know, usually you don't go quite this long, but it has been a couple weeks.
Yeah, and it's always nice to return home, and you know, to be in your own bed tonight is going to be fantastic for the guys. And as always, playing in front of a home crowd is a special thing. So you know, we appreciate the fans coming out. We really love their support, and you know, lately we've been able to give them a smile on their faces, and hopefully on against Colorado Springs on Saturday we can do the same again.
Lastly, before we let you go, a lot of people talking about soccer nowadays with the World Cup, and we've hit we're into the quarterfinals now. Lots to talk about, but those first games in the knockout stage, some phenomenal matches. Yeah. We were talking before we started about the Belgium-Japan match. Might have been the match of the tournament. Yeah. You know, definitely to this point, and it might still stand up moving forward as one of the best.
Yeah, all the games have been so exciting. I think there's been this World Cup more than any I can ever remember. Yeah. Not only a lot of goals, but there's been real high quality play, and there's been some 1 or 2 teams that you might not expect to be challenging for to win in the tournament or in the race. And I think it's going to be a really exciting last week and a half. And you know, for me, obviously, as an England fan, I hope they can come there. I daren't let myself get too excited at this point, but I'm kind of keeping my fingers crossed in the hopes I can go crazy on July 15th.
They won on PKs, obviously, against Colombia. It wasn't the only PK way that one of these matches finished up. As a former player, coach of this sport, do you love the PKs? Do you hate the PKs? I mean, put me in the mind of those guys that are out there at that point.
Yeah, you know, people think it's a bit of a lottery, but I prefer to think of it as a test of their skill and certainly a test of their attitude and mentality. And I think the teams that prepare and really plan for those moments and put their players in the situation in training where they can practice and perform the process, I think that they've got every chance. And certainly as an England fan, you know, we've not done well in the past, and I know the coach this time has really dedicated himself to making sure the players stuck to the process, and they managed to pull this one off. I don't quite think it's a lottery. I think it's more of a test, and fortunately for England, they passed that test. But it's not the best way to get through a game, but you know, if England do that 3 more times, I'll be delighted.
So you'd be okay with PKs if that's the result.
Absolutely.
You know, you mentioned that there's some unexpected teams left. Teams like Russia, you know, they beat Spain, really a perennial power. You don't have some of the superstars with Messi and Ronaldo and the like going home. But obviously a big power in Brazil still left, England with its history. Who do you sort of look at moving forward with these quarterfinal matchups, Steve?
Obviously, my prediction before the tournament was Germany, so don't take this as the gospel. But when you look at the Brazil and France team in that top half of the bracket, they are very, very good teams who've won the World Cup before and have got really experienced players. I think Belgium have been one of the best attacking teams of the tournament, so I think you'd have to say that they are going to give themselves a chance. And in that bottom half, you'd kind of look at it and say, well, it's the easier way through. I think Sweden have done really well to get there, and I think England, you know, are probably right where people probably thought they might get to, and then may struggle, but they've got a great chance. I think one of the better teams in the tournament have been Croatia as well, and you know, they've got some exceptionally gifted players. It's going to be so exciting, and you know, for Croatia, who I think are a really talented team, they're playing against the home nation who've got a lot of people in their corner, so it's going to be really interesting. And you know, you're kind of hoping at this point that there is a surprise or two, because it's been such an exceptional World Cup that let's hope it keeps continuing.
It feels like this World Cup there's something for everybody. For the fans, they're all in.
Yeah.
But if you're not a fan of soccer and you just like sports drama, this is a World Cup for you. People can watch this and get excited about it.
No, it's the best, and you know, it's only every 4 years, and you know, it really does bring the world together. And I mean, as a casual fan, somebody here in the United States who may not have a team to root for particularly, I think just watching the quality of these athletes on the stage, and not only that, but off the field, you look at the fans coming from all over the world, different cultures and backgrounds and different religions, and people just coming together and having a great time, and it's been free of trouble so far, which is fantastic off the field. And I just think it's a great celebration of not only soccer, but it's a great celebration of, you know, the world and life that we all live, and bringing everybody together in that way is nothing but special.
Well, let's see if this time next week we're talking about England still. We'll have to talk about them in some regard. We'll just see what that is.
If we are, I'm going to be, I may not make it to the studio. I might be having a couple of glasses of wine. You know?
Elsewhere, we'll have to see. All right, that's it for this week. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com. And if you want ticket, game time information on what's going on with the Energy, energyfc.com is the way to go.